What do you mean I made you laugh? Everything will be all right.
No,
Let's
making
get
me
to it.
laugh during the podcast. It's illegal.
Oh, okay.
It never happens.
Never.
No.
Professionals.
Absolutely
Just like
not.
we're professional
Professionals.
streamers.
No. Good. Right. Nice and serious this week. We're going to get on the spawn chunks. We're going to do this. We're going to hit 300 episodes. We just need to chill out, not make anyone laugh. That's the way to do it.
Episode 1 of 12 today.
Serious podcast mode.
You did tell Jessiie we're recording 6 episodes today, right?
Yeah. We got to bulk them out a bit. We got to. Hope you got a sitter, Jessiie. Right.
I know. You need to at this point.
Ready?
Ready.
Sure.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Update podcast. It is, of course, me, FoxyNoTail, and joined with me again, as usual, is Slack and Jessiie, who have not been, well, Slack hasn't, but Jessiie hasn't been having any microphone issues at all, have you, Jessiie?
Never. Professionals, remember? We got this.
Yes,
No
yes,
mic
absolutely.
issues.
Yeah, you now know the intricacies of actually setting up a shock mount, don't you?
I do. Never want to do it again.
No. For all of those of you that are not in the know, just before we started recording this podcast, Jessiie B's microphone was playing up a little bit. So, rather than checking the settings, she decided to
Just start
dismantle
smacking it. Yeah, smacking it around a little bit. Just throw it against the wall. See if that fixes it. Oh,
It
don't think
needed
that
to
works,
learn,
Jessiie.
guys. It needed to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it has. It's learned its lesson eventually when we, put the right settings in. Okay. So aside from beating up your microphone, Jessiie, what have you been up to this week?
This week, I recorded early. I had my episode done super early. I was so proud of myself. It's all done. I already have a bunch of clips for the next episode. I'm getting back in the groove and I am super excited. And other than that, I streamed. Guys, I streamed at a time I said I was going to, and it happened.
Wow.
I'm super excited.
What did you do in your stream? What were you up to?
Oh, well. Well, you see, I'm a derp and I decided I needed to get a bunch of dirt for terraforming and then proceeded to spend about a half hour getting lost in the nether and then forgetting everything that I actually needed to get all of this dirt at my base. So yeah, it was really good.
Wait a minute. Don't you just need a shovel?
Excellent.
Wait, I would need a shovel that was not silk touch because who wants mycelium?
Well, you didn't say you went to a mushroom island to get dirt.
Yeah, I did.
Wow,
I was
see,
like,
that changes the whole prospect of what's going on here.
yeah, it was an issue. And then DB had to come and rescue me, and it was great.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like a bit of an adventure.
It was a lot of fun.
Good. And what are you working on at the moment then? So in your videos and streams, what are you trying to get towards? What's your end goal at the moment?
Ideally, I would like to get the front all nice and terraformed and taken care of. It's changing little bits at a time, adding rivers, adding all the scenic beauty stuff. But I've been fluctuating between actually getting parts of the base done. So I've been adding rooms off of the hallways and doing that, but breaking it up with terraforming. So it's been a nice juggle. And then obviously getting in collabs and that kind of stuff in between. But yeah, just trying to get progress done on the base for the most part.
Nice. What about you, Slack? What have you been up to this week?
Getting back into the swing of things. The last 2 days, I've recorded 3.5 episodes. Got a new series that's getting ready to start as well. Something I'm really excited about.
Another new series.
It's a dirty one, Foxy. You'd love it when it comes out. It's one of those that's like, why didn't I think of this sooner?
Okay.
It should be fun. I'm really excited about that.
You can't just leave us there. You've got to give us something.
I was just going to say.
Okay. All right. So for the technical side of Minecraft, by the time this podcast comes out, the first episode will be dropping. So the whole concept of it is Farm of the Week.
Okay.
And you can go in and you can visit any farm that you want. I mean, look at it. There's 52 weeks in a year. There's thousands of farms that you can do in Minecraft. And there's 1,000 different ways you can do a farm. What if each week you went in and you tackled a farm in a different way?
Oh, so you're
What if, say,
building
this
the
week-
farms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what if you went to like, what is the most insane flying sugarcane farm you can build? Why? Just because. So you can build a flying sugarcane farm. Or what if you want to build some other type of farm? What if you want to build a guardian farm that's overworld based? What if you want to build one that's nether based? What if you want to build one that's like this or like that? What's the pros of this kind of farm? What's the cons of this kind of farm? You know, can you do it? Is it practical? Who knows? But let's find out, you know?
Okay.
So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And it literally allows me to go into something I absolutely love, which is farms. And you can mock some of these up. You can try some of these. You could build some of these in survival if you want to, or you could just build it in creative. Pardon my pun here, but it's literally recyclable content. You put out a fortress farm. 2 months later, they release an update. You can go back and revisit that fortress farm and change it.
Nice.
I mean,
That
it's
sounds like fun.
yeah.
It is fun. It is fun. I've been messing with it quite a bit. Been leaning on this one for a few weeks now. Done got a couple episodes recorded for that. First one's supposed to come out this Saturday. I figure it'll get more, what's the word? It's like when we all started recording. You get better in time, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You get better in
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. It allows me to start doing some creative thinking, outside the box thinking with farms. And of course, hey, I'm not gonna lie, T-Man's a genius when it comes to farms. I'm just saying, he's got so many that he's constantly throwing at me. It's like, yeah, let's just put them all out there. Will it work? Let's do it anyways. But other than that, that pretty much sums up my week. Aside from, everything in the world going wrong with family, but that's a subject for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
What about you, Foxy? How's your week been?
Well, I want to ask you some more questions about your new series, to be honest with you, Slack. I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be fantastic. Two things that were running through my mind there when you were saying that was one, I don't know whether you'd be interested in do it or not, but that'd be give you a really nice sort of opportunity to showcase other people's designs that you might particularly like as well.
Exactly.
Which could be cool. And the other thing that I was thinking was, I wonder if he's going to do a world download or like individual world downloads for each farm, because that would be
potentially do that.
That would be brilliant. Like if you go,
That
hey,
is actually a good way to go about it. As a matter of fact, the two worlds that we've already done are in separate worlds. So that is a good viable option. And I just think it's great. I mean, like if somebody comes to you, like I'm trying to branch into the tutorial side of things, and it's taken me a while to even get comfortable with it. And the more I think about it, it's like, what can you do? What can't you do? And I don't feel like recycling content unless it's actually useful. I can't stand, and I'm not calling anybody out here, but some people do it. They recycle the same farm over and over and over and over and over and over and never change nothing. It's literally, you might as well re-uploaded it and just change the order of a couple clips. You know, the whole concept of this is to show different ways that you can go about it. Is it practical? Who knows? Will it work? I don't know. Can you make this kind of farm doing this? How, what, you want to make 1 million sugarcane per hour farm? Can you? Yeah. What's the side effects of it? What's it going to do to your computer? What's it going to do on the next box? What's it going to do to a phone? You know?
Nice.
I don't know. Kind of a combination of like Mythbusters and can you or should you or, you know, will it work?
Like,
I don't know.
Ooh,
What
yeah,
if?
like
Exactly.
a
What if? Yeah.
I really like it, Slab. That's brilliant. Oh, I'm positively excited to see this one coming out, so I can steal all your. I mean, really take some inspiration from your designs.
Right. Good talk.
Oh, jeez.
You this week? How's your week been?
Oh man, I haven't done anything other than exactly what I was doing last week, which is working on this website thing, which I've just given you to a very, very brief and not particularly interesting sneak preview of.
No, that was beautiful. I love what you showed.
Yeah.
That's just
pretty cool.
What I showed you is my back end thing. It's not going to look like that on the website, but it'll do exactly the same thing. So it's got complicated. It's got out of hand. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the process of doing it. And I have not done anything in terms of content creation apart from live streaming on yesterday evening, and I'll be doing one again tomorrow. So no videos for me for a few days.
But I will say, just from the technical side point, at looking at what you've showed so far, how it compares what was in the game versus what is in the game in each update, I'm ecstatic to see your full-blown version of that, because changelogs just don't include everything. And like you were pointing out things that they didn't list in the beta changelogs, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that.
From a technical point of view, for people that are like making add-ons and resource packs, it's going to be really handy, I think, because you'll be able to have a really quick and easy reference to see what the latest version of this file is or how this particular entity's changed over an update. So let's say you make a map and you put it on the marketplace and you go, well, this map's not performing very well in this update. Let's figure out what's changed. The change logs are not going to help you, but this is a really easy, quick, deep dive into that. And the other people it will help are people like content creators, people like us that play a lot where there's a lot of bugs, and you'll be able to say, well, why all of a sudden is this sort of stuff broken? You'll be able to have a quick look through this and think, oh, well, actually, they fiddled with that we, wasn't in the change log. So now we've got a reason behind it. So I think it's going to have some use.
It looked really cool. I
absolutely love it. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see it finished. And I can tell you're sinking many hours into it.
Yeah.
But
It
it looks great
looks-
so far.
It looks beautifully complicated, which just makes me think, oh man, yeah, I can see why nothing else has gotten done.
Yeah, the most difficult thing of it's been is like the idea behind it's easy enough. Is all of the files that it reads at the moment are JSON files, which is what makes Minecraft resource packs and behavior packs, and they're all formatted completely differently depending on what they're using it for. So if it's an entity, there's a different format to something like a loot table or a villager trade table or something like that. So I've had to write like a system that will read each type of the file for each different thing and sort of spit out some useful information and like cross compare them against each other. So that's been the headache, but I think I'm pretty much over the brunt of that now. So it's going to be a case of just doing a few more little sort of miniature comparisons against sort of relatively basic things and then moving the whole thing to my website somehow. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, that's probably another week at least worth of me doing this. But yeah, I'm excited about it. Right, anyway, that's enough about me. Unless either of you got anything else that you want to share that you've done this week, let's jump straight into the feedback. And I have been very, very proactive and organized it all nicely for us this week. You're welcome.
Woo!
Yeah. You even use fancy colors. Jesse, is your colors blue?
Yep. Apparently mine's blue.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well,
okay.
I don't know. Just didn't seem like the right color. Before we go into it, I did get a message on my Discord. I think it might even be in the feedback from Deruza asking, did we want them to collate all of the information from the comments and the emails and the stuff for us, saving us doing it, because obviously made such a mess of it last time. And I've said, well, we'll see what happens type thing. But I completely forgot to talk to him this week. So I've done it all. Hurrah.
Good job there. Good job.
So yeah, anyway, starting with Slack.
We got Daniel A here who says, I hope that the dance break will be a reoccurring segment. Oh, I cried when I heard it. That was great.
Oh my goodness.
It was great.
I was so gone.
I'm so going to turn that into a blurb. I'm just saying.
Did you both listen to it back, did you?
Yes.
I did, yeah.
Amazing. When we got to that bit, I was like, oh, this is brilliant. This is absolutely fantastic. That's staying in. And I don't know if you noticed right at the beginning of the podcast as well, I added in the bit where we were talking about Slack's microphone. So.
Yes, I loved it. I think it adds character to add those little bitty bits in.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. So thank you very much, Daniel. I hope I hope we get some more interesting things like that coming up in the next few episodes, because that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Victim Born says, Foxy broke the joke. I could no longer call Jessiie B Jenny. My laughing bone overloaded and I'll play name games no longer. Great show, guys. Loved every second. I didn't mean to.
That when you genuinely called me Jenny, I lost it. I couldn't. That was.
Oh, when he was genuinely talking, yeah.
Yeah. When he genuinely was like, okay, and Jenny. And I was like, wow.
I can't help it.
Yeah, if you don't get offended by that. I've been called everything. Slap,
Zach, Slap,
Zach,
Jack,
whatever his kids' names are. I can't remember right now. I've been called everything.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
like have a problem with
My brain can't
names,
think right
okay,
now.
jeez.
I've been called everything. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Everything except Slack.
Yeah. And those are the names we can say on the podcast. Wow. Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Sir Hyrule says, "Hey, thanks for being on the podcast, Foxy."
You're welcome. Thank you.
You know,
It's good to see
Yeah.
you here this week, Foxy. You know.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy you were able to make it.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, Jonathan with the last name that I can't pronounce said, "Just be patient."
Yeah, that was a comment on the video, and you know when like you'll both know like this is why I left this one in. You'll get a comment on a video that has no context to it, and it'll probably be an older video, and you've got no idea what they're referencing, and you're just like, I don't.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's one of those. Just be patient.
Can-
That could have been to anything, but they're having a conversation with you as if it's real, like as if you're still
in real
front of
time.
them.
Yeah. How about a timestamp next time?
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things sometimes where they comment something and it's so specific that you're like, I should know what this is referring to, but I have no idea. And so you're just like, ha ha ha.
2.5 years ago, you did this tutorial and you placed a glass block beside the repeater. Why? I don't know. That was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, this one just, I was racking my brains thinking, were we getting like impatient about the next update coming? What do we need to be patient about? So, yeah, thank you, Jonathan. But a little bit more context goes a long way.
Please. Yep. And thank you.
Spondig D says, "Hi Jessiie, Slack and Foxy, loving the content all the Truly Bedrock team produce and appreciate that many hours you put into it. You all deserve way more followers and subscribers." Well, thank you very much. I totally agree with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is very kind.
Totally agree. Yep.
Gerard Marsh says, "No feedback or questions, just a request. Please record the next episode with no sleep. This episode was gold." You know,
I haven't had no sleep yet tonight.
oh my
I really haven't.
goodness, Slack.
Well, it's
Oh.
early
I tried
again
to go
for
to bed
Jessiie.
earlier and I was just wide awake. Yep.
See, here's the crazy thing, right? Last time we recorded, I had about 6 hours of sleep and I was like exhausted. I had like 6.5, I think. This time I've had like 4.5 and I am much more alive and alert and awake. So my sleep, I don't understand. I don't understand it.
What is sleep, precious?
I poured
What is
water all
sleep?
over myself in bed last night.
Oh
I got really thirsty, and I always keep a glass of water next to the bed. And I've got quite a high bedside table. It's like much higher than the bed. So I reached up to grab it and then just poured it all over me. So yeah, that was fun. And I was so tired because it was the middle of the night. It was like 2:00 in the morning. I just thought, oh, I'll move to the other side of the bed and deal with it in the morning. So yeah, that was fun. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Steal you.
That's amazing. Oh, gosh. So good.
Right. Anyway, moving on. Slack.
You're right. Thank you all, Foxy, Jessiie, and Slack. The combination is what makes it interesting.
Is he
Stories
talking about
spilling
cracking
water at
safes?
2:00 in the morning.
That's the combination that makes it interesting. Without that on there, these safes would just be really boring. Oh, dear me. Right. Okay. Sarnet says, "The terrific trio. We need the feedback and questions. We don't have much this week. Also, the terrific trio. Oh, my goodness. There's too much feedback and it's all so long. Maybe we need to break up our feedback or let you know what's just for you guys to read and what's meant to be read on the podcast." All I'm going to say to that is we really love the feedback and the questions. It's better to have too much and even have to leave bits out, which I don't think we really do, or cut things down, than not have enough. And, then you're just padding out the show with whatever else you can find. So keep it coming. We love it. But yeah, when we got a big long list, that oh no is not, oh, well, there's too much feedback. How are we going to squeeze it all? And it's, oh no, I don't want to let anybody down by not reading it. So,
well, my own is different. My own is like, please give me just the short comments because I struggle with words. They are difficult. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
very valid. Dobbs says, I have to stop listening to these podcasts late at night. When Foxy called Jessiie Jenny, I laughed so loud I woke people up. Keep the podcast coming. I am loving them more and more. Quality audio entertainment from all. Well, except Slack. His audio is a bit rubbish. Ruffle.
Tired, Dobbs. I'm gonna have a chat with you next stream you're in.
Wow.
Moving away from Dobbs there, who just lost points. We got a short comment from Gil. See, it's like it's a short comment. Just saying. Archaeology is in the bin. I am devastated. It was the update for fossils like me.
Yeah, with this, I still don't know if they've 100% confirmed it's in the bin. I'm sure that they did, but there's no sign of it. No one's heard from it, and the things that we have heard are like, oh yeah, maybe at some point.
Well, it's like the Minecraft movie. You watched it last week, right?
Yeah, me and Oliver went to it. It was amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. It had Sonic the Hedgehog in it, and Mario, and there's like all of the.
I liked when Master Chief showed up. You know,
I couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe it. It was bizarre. And I can't believe they stopped showing it already. So weird that it was only released for 2 days. And then they're like, that's it now. We're not even going to put it out.
The tickets were very expensive too. I mean, that was a bit insane.
Yeah. Well, they got to make money somehow, Slack.
Yeah, considering how much they paid for the game, I guess.
Well, it's because everyone buys it on mobile and it's half price on that. So they gotta get you somewhere else, you see.
I guess they were trying to stop people from pirating it out too. Right. Anyways, Foxy, what's Gil have to say?
Gil with another one. If it's hard to talk and play at the same time, it must be twice as hard to play and talk in two voices at once. Can we have some love for Big Chicken and Mr. Onion? Actually, why not get Mr. Onion to read the emails? Possibly. We'll see. On my next one, I'll see if I can get him in.
Okay. Microbial Titan said, it's funny you mentioned Rogue Fox. He is actually how I found TB. I was looking for redstone tutorials after switching from Java. Yes. Rogue was one of the redstoners that I immediately clung to, because for me, there's people who are like really, really, really good at redstone and you can see their tutorials, but they go a mile a minute and I cannot understand how something works with redstone. So I really appreciate Rogue as like, I refer to him as doing tutorials like redstone for dummies, because for some reason I can follow his without like losing where I'm at 50,000 times. So I really enjoy Rogue's redstone stuff.
It's called the pause button.
Well, okay. That's valid. It's valid. But I definitely feel like there are some redstone people. Well, he is amazing, but I don't know what it is. He's very palatable to me, redstone wise. Whereas I think Foxy and even you have done things where I'm like, okay, I can follow that, but it takes me a second. But then you have people like Silent or other ones that I've seen where they just talk so fast and it's like they assume you know everything that has to do with redstone, and it's really, really hard for me. So I just appreciate the difference. I did.
I feel like she just teared us.
Yeah, well, that's fine. He's trying to get those, those rewind minutes of people going back and watching it again and then going back and watching it again. That's how you get up there in the analytics, you see. That's why Silent Whisper's got like 100 and something ridiculous, however many hundreds of thousands of subscribers he's got, and we haven't got very many because he knows how to play the game, you see. But
fair.
Yeah, the pause button on YouTube, it really irritates me when people go, oh, just pause the video and you can have a look at this. And you pause it and this big like circle comes up in the middle. Everything goes dark. I can't see now. Like, I'm just reading this page of a book. If you want to read it, pause it. So you pause it and then you're blind. For goodness sake. It's really irritating. I wish they had a clear pause where you could actually pause it and see. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Watch out. They'll probably charge you for something like that.
Well, they say kind of YouTube Premium, no doubt. Right, where were we up to? Oh, it's you, Slack.
Is that Gabbit? Is that how you say it? Gabbit?
So.
Gabbit. Thanks for being on the show, Foxy. Are you happy now?
Yes, I'm ecstatic. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Oh, and that brings us back to me. So I guess it's time to get Mr. Onion in. Mr. Onion? Mr. Onion, are you there?
Oh, no.
What do you want?
Oh, no.
We're doing a podcast. They want you to read it.
Oh, no.
For goodness sake, fine, what happened? Get into here. What? Which one is it? Oh, look, it's them two idiots. I can't believe I'm doing podcast with these two.
He's here. Yeah.
Hello, Mr.
Yeah.
Foxy, Slack, and Jessiie. I can't be bothered. Hi, that is stupid. I don't want it. I'm playing Fortnite. Oh, for God's sake, please.
Playing
Fine.
Fortnite. Did he say
Right.
he's playing Fortnite?
Okay, don't want to do it. Don't want to do it, guys. Sorry. Try my best.
Are you letting him play Fortnite?
I tried to stop him, but he's, well, what can you do?
Cut off the internet.
Well, then I won't be able to
man.
stream with you guys.
Well, no,
That's
cut
fair.
off his internet.
He doesn't have individual internet. It's the same internet we've all got.
Well, what's he playing it on? The Xbox, computer, what? Unplug his line.
It's wireless. It's on the Wi-Fi.
Change the
Jeez.
password real quick.
Look, I'm in the middle of a podcast. Like, can't be doing any of these things. Anyway, hello, Slack, Foxy, and Jessiie. I have binge listened to your podcast over the last week to catch up with the last 7 episodes. I have enjoyed listening to it while walking, running, driving, crafting, and cleaning. Welcome to Jessiie and welcome Slack. No, back to Slack. Hope you are recovering well. I'm loving the content, and I like how between you present a balanced view of the topics you cover. All 3 of you have beautiful voices. I love each of your accents, and I found it really interesting what Foxy was saying one week about how he post-processes the podcast, e.g. adding the pink noise. I don't understand much about that sort of thing, but whatever he's doing, it sounds fabulous. Hope you keep making the podcast for the foreseeable future, but would, of course, understand if your lives take you in different directions. Best wishes, Squirrelicious. I was really enjoying that until the ominous ending.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah,
going great,
yeah.
but if you need to go...
Like, we love you, but if you leave, tap, 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 with a baseball bat. Huh? What? I'm a little scared now.
Yeah,
Right?
thank you, Squirrel.
Yeah, that comment made me smile. I appreciate it. Jess says, amazing podcast. I'm always updating Spotify and get so excited when there's a new one. Love all 3 of you and the dialogue, the banter back and forth. Jess Nooner.
Nice.
Nunner? Is it Nunner?
I don't know.
It's Nunner.
I say
Well-
nooner.
I've always said Nooner, but like actually looking at it.
I think I
spelled
say
out,
Nuna. So
I
it's
think it's
probably wrong.
Nunner.
It's probably Nuna.
Mm.
Do I? I don't
Well,
know. Who
Jess,
knows?
if I butchered that, I am so sorry.
I think, how many names do we butcher? I mean, it's
Right,
like a
all of
service we
them.
provide,
That's
right?
why I've mainly started just putting people's first names in at the top rather than their full names because it's so rubbish. Right, anyway. Jeez.
Oh, man. I'm trying to resist the urge to go all Kentucky here with the somebody named Kentucky Hick.
Do it.
Just saying. Oh, God. All right. So you 3 people had me rolling in stitches here last week. I love the chemistry. You should record early in the morning every week. Sorry, Jessiie. What?
I love it. I love it.
You know, that's more how I talk when I'm not live or in my room or anything like
So in
that.
your family. You just
Yeah, that's
sit
right.
around.
Like when my friends suddenly would show up here and he come, what you doing? Be like, doggone it, boy, what you doing? Come on over here. Check this out here. Yeah. I was really conscious of that forever. Forever. Like, it took a lot of practice. And I know you probably don't notice the difference. I don't know. But, like, I hated it forever, my accent. It's been one of those things that I've tried to hide over the years. It's been interesting. But every now and again, I can't resist the urge. But, right. Anyways, enough of me and my weird accent.
Back to Foxy and his.
Yeah. Hey, you. Wow. Wow. Jeez. Tell me how you really feel, Jessiie. Wow. You know, I was going to be really nice about you a minute ago. I was going to say, you know what, it is really early in the morning for Jessiie again, bless her. She goes the extra mile for these podcasts, but now I'm not going to say it. I take it back. Right.
Couldn't resist. It was the perfect setup.
It's okay, Jenny. It's okay.
It's a trap. Right. Tyler back again.
Yep.
Says, hey, I just wanted to say that I've been trying out this custom structure thing out. So far, not so good, mainly because it's fairly new and there isn't any content info about it yet. I love that. I love new adventures and challenges. I'll hopefully release data packs to the Planet Minecraft website as often as I can if any of you are interested in trying them out. As of this email, I don't have any yet. I'll email you when I can once I have one uploaded. If any of you want to try it out, let me know how you like it. The one I will upload has a lot of very cheaty things in it. I won't make all data packs cheaty like my first one. Anyway, love the show, and as always, keep up the great work. See, what I feel like that is just a big advert followed by, by the way, I like the show.
Yeah, that's like, I'm surprised there wasn't a section where it was like, this is my Twitch, this is my YouTube. Yeah. Please come check me out. Just skip right over that.
See, I don't even see it that way. Like, to me, that comes off as just a kid. Like, it comes off as someone really young where, you know, like they don't have that filter yet to be like, maybe this isn't like the most appropriate way. Like, they're just excited to tell somebody who does it that they also do it. So to me, it just sounds like a little kid.
Yeah, I have no issue with the feedback at all. It was just one of them like, hey, just come and look at all the things I'm doing. Oh yeah, well,
yeah,
I like
it's like somebody joining your stream and like, hey, come check out my add-on I made.
Yeah. Or when you're streaming and Lofty goes, hey, someone else has just gone live, and
oh my God, that one irritates me so bad. Somebody comes in I had somebody, and I won't call them out by name. They came into my stream yesterday and they're like, Foxy's live and Slack's live. Who do I watch? And I'm just sitting here to myself, just going,
you're like,
you watch who you want, you just don't bring it up. Yeah. And thankfully, like all of chat and me was like, you know, how about you watch them both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have just been, go watch Slack. Just
oh, look at him trying to play. Oh, wow.
Wow. He's the best.
No, I know what it is. He doesn't want somebody over there saying, I don't know which one to watch. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Foxy's like, if you got to question me, don't even bother coming over here.
Yeah. You're not welcome. Go away.
Oh, my goodness.
Jeez. It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. Oh, it's just a joke. It's not real. Oh, geez, don't leave me. I need you.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right, what's Tra got to say, Jessie?
Tra says, hi, Jessie, Slack, and Foxy. Just wanted to say how much I really enjoy listening to the podcast and the banter between the three of you. It's both informative and entertaining and makes for easy listening while I'm at work. Keep up the great work, both on the podcast and video content front. Regards, Tra. Or as Slack says in pirate voice, Trarg.
No,
really?
No. It's Trarg.
Oh, there you go.
Hi, Trarg is here today, everybody.
Fair enough.
Everything's fine. Oh, I love it. I love it. Like literally Trarg. Oh my God, that one. That literally leads to Chewbacca. You know, I just can't help it. To be inclusive, I must say I enjoy Foxy on the podcast. Look, Foxy, see, Chewbacca appreciates you.
You know what? I'm feeling a lot of love this podcast, guys. It's really nice. My spirits have been lifted. I was going to quit last week. I was thinking, you know what? This is going to be my last podcast, and I've changed my mind. I'm going to stick around, guys, if you'll have me. So thank you.
I don't know, that one person up there tapping their desk, you know. But of course would understand if like they feel in a different direction.
Oh no.
Right. Caroline Linklater says, hi, me again. I've just listened to episode 11. I got a shock, lol. I thought maybe you had chose not to read my email/book because it was long and about mental health. I'm so glad you did and so amazed at all 3 replies. And yes, Jenny, definitely always be honest and true about mental health. Hearing you all talk about it is what made me reach out and say thank you and tell you how appreciated you are. I've connected emotionally to you all now, and we all shall be bestest friends forever and ever and ever for life, lol. P.S. I cried hearing you all connect to what I wrote. Good tears, not sad ones. Love you all. Expert level 99ers from Caroline Linklater. P.P.S. Well done, Foxy, on getting my last name right. Most people butcher my name, and you, sir, did not. Well done. P.P.P.S. Hi, Slack. Glad you're better. Oh,
Can we keep Caroline forever?
no.
Like, no, I just want to.
She's
You don't
keeping
have
us
to.
forever,
I'm going
Jessie.
to. Nope.
We
I mean, I
belong to
was
her
literally
now.
going to
She's in
say
this
I've
little,
met
like,
my friend
jar.
quota for the year until she said, glad you're better. Now I feel bad because I can't say it now.
Nope.
Jeez.
It's okay. You two can do whatever. I'm keeping her. She's going to just be in this.
Okay, well, I'm going to
little
keep
jar.
Tar then, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And Foxy can
Fair.
have Chewbacca.
Oh, thanks. I want Tyler. I want to see what Ollie's doing with all of his add-ons.
So that you can take them and... What? No. Sorry.
Wow.
The door was wide open. You said something earlier. I couldn't resist.
Right, okay. Jesse, quick. Moving on.
Holmes says, "Hey, Foxy, Slack, and Jesse. My husband and I love your podcast. It's very entertaining with some useful bug information thrown in. I'm glad you're doing okay, Slack. I think Foxy would be lost without you. Keep it up."
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Don't think I can cope on my own, don't you?
People let me tell you about my best friend. Oh, wait,
I
no.
think I'd get on
Anyways.
perfectly fine, to be honest with you, but no.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Feel the love in the air tonight here.
Yeah, it feels like we're all just like one now, and we're all so close and connected and, friendly. We're not all like just being mean about each other and talking about
We
how
would
bad
never.
Foxy's accent is. It's fine.
Insert disconnect sound from Discord here. Hello? Hello?
Right, we got the last piece of feedback before I get into some kind of feedback. So, Slack, what's Windy Castle got to say?
Windy Castle from the Discord said, Foxy needs some love, I hear. Maybe we just forget that he edits it all and does it very well. His opinion fits in very well too. I like all three, and the podcast would not be the same without any of you three. Keep it up. Even you, Jesse.
Well, thank you, Windy. I think.
Yeah, thank
I
amazing.
do the editing. I do it all. I'm like, just Slack and Jesse turn up, tell me the microphone's broken or there's something's gone wrong, and I'm like, come on, and I'll get the team together and we get sorted out.
He does all the notes and
do all the no. Me and Slack did the notes together once. That hasn't happened again.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
One day.
I know, right? Wow.
I'm going to have to start delegating tasks, I think. We'll have to get Jesse on the news, Slack on the feedback, and then I'll just have to do the editing. Now that'll work out better, I think. Or not.
But before you can get Jesse on the news, can you get your website thing up so we can get complete change logs to point out?
Steal the
that'd be
news from my
great.
comparison system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, news is news, man. I'm
Fair
just
enough.
saying.
Right. The last bit of feedback we've got is actually to do with a piece of feedback we got last week saying that on some systems, or with this particular person, when they get near the end of the podcast, it started repeating itself, which we thought was a bit odd. So I asked if anybody else had the same problem, and we got a few replies. Hamster82 says, "Hi, Foxy, Jess, and Slack. Thanks for answering my questions last time. Another great episode. I also want to let you know I too get repeated section at the end of the episode. I'm listening through Google Podcasts app on an Android phone. Anyway, keep up the good work. Much love, Hamster82. Pirate Danny says, podcast bug. I too hear the podcast repeating itself after the episode. iPhone 11 via Apple CarPlay on Apple Podcasts. Tyler says, I wanted to say that I listen on Spotify. This in response to Fox's response to my email about the end of the podcast sometimes repeating itself. Rotated Owlface says they listen on Apple Podcasts, but it's fine for them. And Deruza says there's no repeating here. I listen on Spotify, but the outro music went on for a good few minutes. Not sure if that was intentional. Also, I was thinking would you like a hand collating the comments and feedback into a single cohesive document, as I mentioned earlier? So I'm not going to reply to that here because I've replied to that in the Discord. But that's interesting that on Apple CarPlay, so Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Spotify, some people have had repeated audio, whereas Rotated Owlface and Deruza had a different experience on the same thing. So I wonder if it's device specific or if it's just sort of random. Weird, isn't it?
I would think that it's probably like something like GIFs being visible on Discord by default. Maybe it's a user setting that needs to be changed. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, like by default, when like you're on Discord, okay, so somebody posts a GIF or something like that, it auto plays constantly.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to click it, you can see it.
Because it irritates me.
Yeah, I turn that off too. But
Yeah.
maybe the auto repeat is like auto repeat on a CD player or something like that. Maybe it's a profile setting.
No, I don't
Repeat
think
last
it's
song.
repeating the whole podcast. I think what's happening is getting near the end and our audio's overlapping itself, so it goes all out of sync and sounds weird, is what I think what they're saying. I can only imagine it's like the feed that they're getting through from the original file somehow like not playing properly. Maybe it's when there's an advert put at the end and it just throws it all off by a little bit. I don't know. It's really weird. So yeah, if anyone else has had issues like that, or if they've got more information so we can try and figure it out, please let us know, because obviously we would very much like to fix that if it's happening to more than one person. So
Yes.
yeah, anyway, that's it from feedback today. If you would like to leave us feedback, please make sure you send an email to theminecraftupdatepod@gmail.com. Put feedback in your subject line, or hit us up on Twitter or Discord or any of the other, or just leave a comment on this video if you're watching it on YouTube. Right, moving on from the feedback section, we're going into the news, and there hasn't been a massive amount of news this week. I'm going to start with SlicedLime on Twitter saying, while the team is hard at work on Minecraft 1.19, we are not quite ready for the first snapshot yet, so will there be no snapshot this week. So no Java Snapshot this week, but we did get a beta/preview, which, well, on the surface and certainly in the changelog, didn't seem to do all that much. So I'm going to read out the changelog and tell you exactly what was in it. There's a couple of things that stood out to me in particular. In experimental feedback, in experimental features, the Deep Dark implemented Shrieker tweaks in preparation for the Warden, which will be added at a later date. Skulk Shrieker now listens to Skulk sensor tendril clicking, and the threat level, which will cause the Warden to spoil in the future, now decreases over time. In non-experimental features and bug fixes, we had stability and performance issues, which was basically fixing a couple of crashes. And in gameplay, the vertical field of view no longer is halved on horizontal split screens. They've tweaked surrounding terrain for structures such as villagers during world generation. TNT no longer disappears when ignited with TNT explodes game rule disabled. Gravity affected blocks now fall on top snow when placed above it instead of hovering over it. More vanilla parity has come our way in terms of players flying in creative and no longer pushed by liquid current, which I'm particularly very happy about, because that is one of the most irritating things to happen in creative mode. Farmer villagers can now use bone meal on crops that can turn excess seeds into bone meal at their composter. Protection enchantment now properly works on most damage types. Fixed a desync issue that would sometimes cause health to regenerate only visually. Landing on stalagmites is now properly considered fall damage. Fixed some issues where damage invulnerability wasn't being properly applied. Fixed an issue where protection enchantments mitigated too much damage. Absorption hearts no longer stay yellow while under the wither effect. Added armor toughness. Diamond armor and netherite armor now have a toughness value of 2 and 3 respectively. Tweaked armor reduction calculation to account for toughness. Netherite armor will now reduce more damage than diamond armor, which is, well, really interesting to me that they didn't before, but we'll get to that in a minute. Lowered the amount of knockback resistance granted by netherite armor. Punching deals less damage now to better match Java Edition. Graphically, they've fixed a bug with the glow squids texture. They fixed the crosshair disappearing when outline selection for blocks was disabled. Players now that are on fire now render in front of the player on the inventory screen regardless of the game camera angle, and they fixed a highlight effect on leather armor for paper dolls, apparently. Items, the bucket of tropical fish no longer displays the incorrect name after catching the fish. On the marketplace, the skin equip warning prompt once again appears when equipping a skin from the product page. The Ravager now attacks the wandering trader. Mobs spawn from a dispenser are now persistent. Shulkers will no longer like to occupy the same block as another shulker, and shulkers will now prioritize attaching to neighboring block faces before trying to teleport away. And they will stay attached to the current attached block face if it's valid instead of switching to an upright position. And then there's a load of rubbish to do with, well, it's rubbish. It's just technical jargon to do with game tests and all that sort of stuff. One more thing in particular with villagers is cartographers will now always unlock a Woodland Explorer trade map. So there's quite a long list, but it's a bit of faff really, apart from the armor stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Netherite armor?
Yeah. So we've been spending all our money on this important netherite stuff and putting on all our armor, and it's not been doing anything by the sounds of things. What's all that about? I don't understand.
I wonder if there was any any upgrade at all. Like if it wasn't the resistance, maybe it just breaks slower. Like that's literally the only difference is it's more durable.
That's
more durable
like.
and, well, it didn't burn in lava.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
That's true.
But in terms of it actually protecting you, it seems to not make any difference, which is...
Yeah, basically it was rubbish, but sure, I'm glad that's changed
same
now.
as diamond, yeah. Everything's fine.
Well, there you go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. According to my comparison thing as well, apparently the pillager outpost structure feature cage with allays has been added to the game. There is also a bunch of things that have been changed and removed. Tadpole eggs from the experimental update image has been removed. Loads of sound files have been removed. And I'm not going to even go into the fact that like there's 34 renderer files have changed. There's millions of other things that's changed. Particles have changed. Oh man, if you want to find out exactly what's changed, then when I've finished, you can use this thing and it'll be great. There you go. I'm not plugging it. You're plugging it. Shh.
No. Well, I'll gladly plug it. When's it going to be up?
Right.
Soon. Watch this space. But yeah, lots of interesting information there. Right. The other bit of news, there's only one other bit, which is, kind of concerning because we're not even an hour into the podcast yet. But season 9 of Hermitcraft has started. And you might think, well, that's a bit weird for you to say that since you're a Bedrock Edition thing and you play on Truly Bedrock. But it's Minecraft news. Hermitcraft are massive. Most people that play Minecraft and watch YouTube would probably at least have heard of it. So I thought it was important enough to stick in the news. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's newsworthy.
Yeah.
They took a couple months off, which is the first time they've ever done something like that ever, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it's the longest I've ever, since I've been a fan, that they haven't had content. It was real weird. And now they're back, so I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah. Has anyone watched any?
I've actually sat down and watched some, and I haven't done that honestly, I hadn't watched Hermitcraft since we started Truly Bedrock.
Oh,
so this is the first time I've sat down and watched Hermitcraft forever. And I find it refreshing. Words are difficult. I find it refreshing, not only from a content point of view, but when I started doing YouTube videos, I drew a lot of inspiration and tips and tricks from watching how they edited stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what were they saying? When did they cut over to this scene? Is that a voiceover? Is that something that they recorded in one segment? And I find it refreshing because it also like re-kickstarts some things. Like you see somebody do something, you're like, wait a minute, that wasn't right. That was definitely a voiceover with that, and I don't know. But I can't wait to see more episodes. Right now, all I've seen is like day one fiasco stuff, and as fun as it is, I don't really enjoy day one stuff. It's just too many people talking, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've watched quite a few. The family, we all like have a routine that we do. We have like a handful that we watch together. So I'm pretty caught up with a handful of them at least. And I've already seen some episode 2s, so that's exciting. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Is there anything new and interesting that's happening this season? Have they made any sort of specific changes?
It looks like they're going back to, like, I don't know if you guys watched, but like season 4 when everyone was really close together at the start.
That's like one of the best seasons ever.
Yeah.
The Mesa.
I agree.
I enjoyed that
I agree.
season.
That was my favorite season. But
Yeah,
so
I think
they're
so, yeah.
all really, really close together. Like they're all around a little lake, which I'm a fan.
Well, excuse me, have either of you watched Izuma's episode 1?
Yes.
No.
You
I
have.
haven't,
Well,
no.
you'll be aware then that this season they've decided not to share or know the seed internally. So they don't know what the landscape holds. They don't know anything about biomes, what's nearby. Obviously, they've had someone pick the seed for them to make sure it's a decent seed. But the only person that knows it is Izuma, who has said, I'm not going to use it. I think he's a trustworthy fellow. I think he will stick to that. So I think that's a really interesting premise that's probably why they're all sticking together, because when you don't know what's out there, you're probably less likely to go wandering off and finding stuff. There won't have been a process of, hey, let's go and scope out a base area before we start so we know exactly where we're going to. So they'll be inching their way out probably more slowly than you normally would, I imagine.
Yeah, I think so. I think that that's such an interesting idea. It would make me way too anxious.
See, I love
But
it.
I like it.
I always say when, like, internally, when we're looking at new Truly Bedrock seasons, this season in particular, we actually had to have a separate channel that was like season spoilers, because I didn't want to know. I don't want to know what the world looks like. Obviously I want to plan out the seed and what we're going to do, but I don't want to know where all of the structures are. I don't want to know what the caves look like. I want to go in as blind as possible, or as blind as it's possible to be as the admin, so that I can actually explore and find things. It's not so when I'm actually there, it's a surprise. I kind of feel like a lot of the time when you do all this planning and preparation, it's great because you're going to have a more coherent plan of what you're doing for the season, but you're missing out on all of that bit you only get right at the beginning of the season, which is like, oh wow, look at that, and oh wow, look at that. And if you're not going, oh wow, look at that, then your viewers aren't going, oh wow, look at that,
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's fantastic that they've decided to go down this route, and I think that's really good.
I think it's interesting. My only concern with that is I would love to go into a blind seed like that. Absolutely. My only concern would be is not everybody plays at the same rate or at the same pace. Okay. So what happens if player A gets on and plays 2 hours and then logs out, and then player F gets on and they're like, oh, there's an outpost there, I'm claiming that. Oh, there's an ocean monument there, I'm claiming that. And then this and that and this and that, and they claim everything that's close. That's where I can kind of see where knowing the seed in advance and planning helps. Because if it's random, then how do you control? I guess it would be an internal thing on who gets what.
Yeah, I think if you come across a structure like that, you're going to just have to speak to the other people and say, look, I don't want to spoil where it is or what it is, but I found an outpost. It's this sort of distance from spawn. Can I claim it? Or does anyone want to share and go in as a community project or something? I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. That's potentially an issue with doing a blind seed on a multiplayer server.
I think when they're that far in, right? Like this group, and a lot of them have been there for a long time, they probably go in more like, hey, this season I would like to do something with a guardian farm. So can we make sure one is, like, if we find one, I'm known, or something like that. Like they go into it saying, we don't know where anything is, but I have an idea of something I would like to do. Just like being open and honest. I feel like that's probably the way that you should handle it or could handle it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know though.
The other thing,
it's like it almost feels. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go.
No, you. No, you.
All right, fine. The other thing that they're probably bearing in mind at the back of their mind, and one of the reasons maybe they're not exploring too much, is that obviously at some point in the future, it could be as little as 2 to 3 months away. It could be sort of 9 to 12 months away, but there's going to be a whole new biome at the bottom of the world, and potentially even, we've discussed new dimensions and things like that. You don't know where that's going to place itself. They won't know on the seed that they've got, even the person that made the seed, where that's going to appear. So there's that to consider as well, unless they're going to do like what they did in, was it season 7, where they had the new area they moved to with all of the new stuff. And for me, that was great in one sense, because they got like to rebuild everything, and it was almost like a little like fairground adventure place they went to. But there was also a massive disconnect, and all of the stuff as a viewer that you were invested in before that sort of seemed like it was forgotten about, and it kind of, I don't know, I didn't really like it that they did that. So I can see the positives and negatives of doing it from their point of view, but I guess that's probably something they're going to keep in the back of their minds.
Yeah.
So unless either of you got anything else interesting about Hermitcraft season 9, then it's go on.
No, not that I can think of, other than we were just talking about Hermitcraft, and with that, you were talking about, Jessiie said something about, hey, I want to do a guardian farm this season. If there's one out there, could you like leave me one out there? Something that always struck me as that stood out, and maybe I'm the only one that ever noticed something like it. Maybe you both think I'm crazy. It feels like they pick almost like, okay, so you're going to do this shop this season. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. It seems like they don't always have competition with a particular shop until like mid to late season.
Yeah.
It does seem very planned out, with kind of making sure that everything is sold. Like I pretty much. Like each one picks like a topic or something, and then everything, like the wide variety is just out there. So I think they're really good at that.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's something that just happens naturally. I mean, we know from experience on Truly Bedrock that everyone ends up saying they're selling the same thing, and then there's just, nothing of the stuff you actually want because we sell what's easy to farm. Whereas, yeah, on there does seem to be a widespread of things. But then I again, going back to, was it last season where Green had the barge and Exuma had the like the big shop that sold everything? So there were overlaps with what people were selling.
2 seasons ago, I think.
Was that season 7, was it?
Yeah.
Right.
Barge.
Wow, okay. Shows you how much
Was that from the beginning of the season or is that like late season?
Say again?
Was that near the beginning or near the end of the season?
It was
season.
further in, but I think the plans for it started relatively early on as the shopping area sort of came together. So I think maybe they've got a list where they go, hey, look, let's cover our bases with these shops first. Who wants to do this, that, and the other, and then just whatever else you want to do on top of that's free for all, I guess. So I don't know.
Sounds like something we should consider for the future. Just
right?
putting it out there.
It does sound like a good idea, but it also sounds like that's the sort of thing that could potentially stop your own creativity and your own flow. Let's say you've got this stuff going on in your base, and you're thinking, oh, do you know what? I've got all of these sheep around here. It'd be great to like put a sheep farm together and make a sheep shop or a wool shop, but then you can't because that's not on your list unless it's like I don't know. Like, would you be forced into making sure those shops that you picked you had to do first? Or again, like you say, Slack, what if you've only got somebody like, that spent the last 3 weeks making a website and doesn't play, and they're the ones supposed to be selling firework where a good rock is? The shop's just not going to exist. So it's a hard one to juggle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a hard one to juggle, especially like the other day I went looking around on the server and like I couldn't find like nobody selling nothing. The only place I knew was like Tiz, who had shulkers and sand.
He has
and
his mall.
I don't understand that mall. That mall makes no sense. I'm really confused with the whole shops at base thing. I can't find nothing. Like nothing. I looked around like Beardy's for like an hour and just I couldn't find nothing. I went to his industrial area. I ended up in these farms and I was like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I've got like 10 stacks of diamonds because people buy wool and iron nonstop. And it's just like, I have nowhere to spend them because I don't know where the shops are. I'm confused.
Yeah. I like the fact that we've got shops at bases for the very fact that it gives us an opportunity to go somewhere different, explore what other people are doing. And you actually do feel like you're on a multiplayer server rather than just sort of a single player world with a shopping area. Do you got
shops at your base or just in another?
Just in the nether at the minute. But what I do think that we need, and I think Mr. Beardstone was actually talking about it in Discord earlier, is a directory. Is a list.
Set up.
It's done already, is it? So yeah, you can go and go, look, I've got these shops. These are the coordinates of where they are, and I'm selling this sort of stuff. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
because
that's going to help.
You're absolutely right, Slack. I won't go shopping because I don't know what's there.
But he said something about needing like an avatar, and I haven't died, so I don't have an avatar.
Well, we'll have to kill you then. That's fine.
Yeah. I flew by him yesterday and was like, here, and gave him like a handful of mine. His area is so cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. You just go straight through his portal and you find his shops, by the way, Slack.
That's the other problem is that I don't know whose portal's whose. I've made a bit of an effort this season of labeling mine, but I've no idea where or what everyone else is. I mean, I know he lives next door to me, but I'd no idea which one his portal is in the Nether Hub. It should technically be the closest one, but it's not. So
no, his is through the All Store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like right through. It's like, it's really cool.
You mean the U store?
Impressed. Yes, that one. Wow. What did I call it?
All Store.
I Store. All Store. Oh,
going back a bit.
Man, yep, mixing up seasons.
Jeez. Right. Okay. Moving on from that, then we're going to go into the bug date. Has anyone got any bugs this week?
I don't.
Aside from this morning when I was working on the Guardian farm, I seen flying guardians again. No. Nothing has stood out.
Entities bouncing up and down outside. It just, the further you are away, the more in the air they are. Is that the...
No, literally just like right there, like just floating. And I could fly down and hit them in the air and kill them. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's not
Yep.
right.
Just floating, just literally floating, shooting at me and everything. Got it recorded. Yep.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
I'm glad I asked. Wow. So they're obviously at an ocean monument, but like,
Yes.
what, above the water?
Yes. I was bubble coloring them up to a trident killer, and one bounced out before I got the lid on it. And just like one of them was just sitting here on the edge, like 5 blocks out away from everything, just shooting at me. And another one was like 15 blocks down beside the glass column, just shooting at me.
What,
Just
not
chilling.
going up or down?
No, just sitting, like hovering, like a UFO, dude. Just hovering. Yep.
Amazing.
Wow.
Absolutely fantastic. Good. I bet
Good
that was
job,
fun.
Minecraft.
Well, that was a bug, and it got patched.
No, apparently not.
It was a bug like 2 years ago or a year ago, and it got patched.
Oh, wow.
No, they're digging
And
out
I
the old
saw it,
ones.
and I was just like,
They're
yeah.
thinking, do you know what? We haven't had enough bugs for a while. People not complaining enough. We need to stick some of the old ones in. Jeez.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay.
And it's very weird too. Like the Guardians. All right, so they can spawn at like Y61. If you're bubble coloring them up, once they hit like level 70, they just look down and they fight the urge to keep going up. And they get to 90 and then like 95 and they just stop. They don't care. They're in a bubble column. They don't care. They're resisting.
Really?
They're looking straight down and don't want to go no higher.
Wow.
I don't understand it. It's
Brilliant.
broken. It's
Good job.
yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, this is why bubble column Guardian Farms was a stupid idea, Slack, and you should go with my tried and tested Nether Portal farm because it works perfectly.
Yeah, one that can break the server if you mess up and dump 6,000 Guardians into the Nether. We've been there. Remember season 2?
I know, and that's what
No,
makes it
season one.
exciting, doesn't it? Do
Oh,
you
we
remember
did a
how
season 2
exciting
too.
it was when we nearly broke the server?
Oh, yeah. I remember all the times we nearly broke the server. It's okay.
When we went in the Nether and the chunks just wouldn't load. It was great.
Oh, especially when I was on the potato and I was the only one that could get over to the Guardian farm. Yeah, that was
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, that
like
takes
one
me
frame a
back.
second for 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, those are good times. Good times. I'm looking forward to them again soon when someone presses the wrong
Oh,
button.
we had the portals on while we were slabbing the ocean. Uh-oh.
Hey.
Hey, that's the episode Mr. Barbecue was born.
It wasn't me. Yeah, but back then they used to spawn really slow. You could really kill the server now. And you can't use MCC tool chests to kill all the Guardians anymore. Oh,
I
jeez.
have
So
to
how
say,
safe is that? Hmm.
I'm glad we
Do
take
you
back
trust
up.
Jeff using that?
Sorry, Jessiie.
No.
What was you saying then?
No, I was just that like brought back core memory. That time when I was slabbing the ocean for you guys, probably one of my favorite just TB times. I think that was when I realized I have no chill. You guys are like, yeah, there's like a million chunks you need to slab out. And I was like, you're going to give me gunpowder for slabbing? Yes. And I did it all. And you guys were like, I did want a clip in between somewhere.
That was
my
amazing.
God.
That saved us so much work. That was underneath the mob farm, wasn't it? And
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pre-mob despawning spheres
Yeah.
and kelp issues.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
The
I remember we built that and you fell off of that thing like 4 times and it was heart attack moments because we're like, don't load the ocean. Fox is like, oh God, what just happened?
Yeah, because that's when mobs were still persistent then, weren't they?
Yeah, everything was persistent. Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot. But I used to like mobs being persistent. I didn't for that result, for the mob farms it was bad. But I liked the fact that you could find a chicken and go, oh, do you know what? I'm going to come back and get that chicken in a minute and wander off somewhere and you go back and it's there. I liked that. But obviously it's not very good.
Now you can
for
hit the
making
chicken with the
farms.
sword and it's like, oh, it's supposed to be persistent, or show it a seed. It's supposed to be persistent. And guess what? Go away. It despawns.
Yeah, like now when you put pigment in a boat because you're going to take it home and trade it, and you walk
No.
5 feet away from it, it
Yeah.
disappears. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite thing right now. T-Man was supposed to get me a bug tracker on this. There is a bug that's bothering me. The whole random chance of despawn from 34 to 44. So you got mobs that spawn between 24 to 44 on the
Mhm.
radius. And once you hit like it's 32, from 32 to 44, you got that chance at despawn. Chance. It's almost like instant always. It's so annoying.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like always just pure instant. Something spawns there So
You see
your
them
real
blipping in
spawn
and out of
radius is like
existence, don't
nothing.
you? You see them blipping in and out of existence.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No, that is annoying. Yeah.
I had that happen yesterday.
Well, my bug this week is not necessarily a bug, although I think it is. And it's just that how regularly slimes are spawning. And like I've been working on in my live streams, the underneath my Guardian farm area where the player's going to go and, well, I say AFK, they're going to be there for about 30 seconds and go back again. But even on 1 block tall spaces, giant slimes are constantly spawning there. So I've had to like spawn proof like crazy, and it's not just like 1 or 2 slimes. The number of slime balls on the floor because of the iron golem in there is ridiculous. It's crazy. I go and get like a stack of like slime balls every time I turn my back, and it's great for slime farms, but it's just so irritating. Why are there? It didn't used to be like this, did it? That there was just this many slimes underground. Something's changed, right?
Oh yeah, they're most annoying mob. Ugh.
I mean, the cave cap was increased before we went to 1.18 from 8 to 16.
Yeah, but didn't slimes used to be rare? Did they have a Y value before?
I don't remember. That might have changed in the update.
Yeah,
I don't know what their density is. You figured they would have a density.
Yeah,
But their density could be just insane.
it probably is. I mean, maybe they need some limitations on there so that you don't get quite so many slime spawning in one area, because it is ridiculous. And I know people will moan that, well, my slime farm's not as efficient, but they need to do something, because they spawn at all levels, and they're just because they don't care about light levels. They're just everywhere. They're just everywhere. And it's so annoying. Something needs to change. Maybe just make it a darkness thing, or under like a certain light level or something. I don't know. Because, they're just irritating, aren't they? You can deal with a zombie, but a slime, it turns into 3, and then 3. I just need fighting an army of mobs every time you're trying to get rid of one.
Yeah, I'm just glancing real quick to see if I can find anything about the density or anything like that, and I don't see anything off quick reference.
No, fair enough. I was just going to do the same thing. I was trying to bring up very quickly the behavior pack for it, but I'm really struggling to find the file because I'm concentrating on talking. Quick, Jessiie, talk about slimes.
Jessiie, dance break.
Do, 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 do. Mer, 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 mer. Woo. Okay, are you done yet?
No, I can't remember. Spawn rules is what I want, but it's finding the slime ones. But this is why I need my system. Once my system's finished, it will have all of this to hand. And I'm just really gutted I haven't finished it yet.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez. Axolotl spawn rules. No, I want slime, please. Good news is the slime spawn rules don't seem to have changed over the last few updates. So, there we go.
So
the last
just annoying.
1.16.100 was the last spawn rule change. Spawns on surface, spawns underground, difficulty filter easy to hard, Minecraft weight 100, which means they'll spawn as regularly as like any passive mob. And then biome filter is monster, so anywhere mobs will spawn, swamp or frozen. So, yeah.
They don't have a density check?
No density, no...
So they can take out the full cap.
Yeah.
No Y value, no, there's nothing. No
That's
distance from player. Oh, man. So that's probably why we're seeing so many, because that default weight of 100 just means that they are going to spawn. They're going to spawn.
Would you like a slime?
Take a polar bear, for instance. It's got a default weight of 5, which means it doesn't spawn very regularly. So,
I see non-stop polar bears here lately. Stupid things are polar bears.
A piglin has a default weight of 15 and a herd size and all of the other things to make it easy. But not slimes. Oh, no. Oh, well. Or maybe there's just like, they could have a block specific that they spawn on. So they'll only spawn on stone, or they'll only spawn on, I don't know, something like mud or something like that. It's just, please fix slimes. Please make them go away. Or just stop them spawning on a one block in a one high thing. A giant slime in a one high area. We fixed magma cubes for that, so why not slimes? Come on, guys. Sort it out. Jeez.
Oh, we forgot to put the code over here. We let Jeff do that.
Yeah, I knew it'd be Jeff. It's always Jeff. Right, okay. Enough moaning about bugs. Let's move on to our final section, which is the Q&A section. And don't forget, if you want to ask us a question, then you can by emailing the minecraftupdatepod@gmail.com or using the Discord or commenting on the video if you're watching it on YouTube. So at the very top of our questions thing, we have a question that Slack's going to read from Mr. Balrog.
Balrog here asks, what if you could wax wood? All variants to get a slightly different hue/color and a reflective surface in RTX. I don't like the ideal of the reflective surface, but the ideal of being able to wax, I think it would be nice if you could wax any block in the game to change its color a little bit. Maybe I'm odd on that one.
Why don't you like the idea of it being slightly like polished? Because you don't like polished wood. It'd be no different from polishing it.
Because RTX is so broken right now. If you hit it, everything's shiny, and I'm tired of seeing shiny things and having to relog and deal with
let's
it.
assume that RTX isn't broken, and then you just got you had the ability to have a glossy texture. I think that's quite nice.
If it's not shiny, it's matrix code, and if it's not matrix code, it's an inverted picture. It's broken. I'm beginning to dislike RTX. I actually learned the other day you can take the RTX off and go back to the original version of the game that still uses the old shaders.
Yes, you can. If you install the 32-bit version of Minecraft Bedrock Edition, you can have shaders. Yeah, yeah. And it's still updated. It still comes out but I don't think that'll carry on for long because they're stopping support for Java 32-bit soon. So I imagine they'll stop support for 32-bit Bedrock soon as well. But I really like this idea. Not necessarily the RTX stuff. I think I've got over RTX now. Apart from for thumbnails, I don't really use it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea of, for me, not necessarily just to have a different color or hue, but I really like the idea of more things aging in Minecraft, more blocks like cobblestone going mossy over time, but you could prevent it by waxing it, or just, certain things degrading. Like imagine if wood went a little bit like maybe lost some color, maybe desaturated,
desaturated.
And went a bit old if it, decayed a bit and you had to use the wax on there to keep it preserved. I think that'd be fantastic. That sort of stuff would really bring a lot of variation.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. Then like how the copper is exposed to air, it changes. The wood, when it's exposed to different elements, changes.
Yeah, like wet wood would go a little bit like grit. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? That'd be fantastic. Yeah.
I can.
I've always liked the idea of having like aged wood. So like just as time goes on, it's like a little more cracky. I just think you could do so much with it.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan.
And the other one that someone mentioned, I can't remember who it was now, but mentioned it a while ago. And I think we may have even brought it up on a podcast, or maybe it was a live stream, but aged hay bales. So hay bales, you don't want to do a thatch roof from hay bales because they've got those horrible lines on, and they're just so yellow and vibrant. They don't look like thatch. But if they, like over time, lost their saturation a little bit and went a little bit more sort of light or darker, depending on maybe the environment they're in, they would make amazing looking thatch roofs, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah. So, yes, Balrog, absolutely. I'm into it. Let's get it done. I'm working on it.
I'm not concerned about the RTX at all anymore.
Yeah, I'm not bothered about it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. This one's been squeezed in. So, Slack, do you want to do this one? Because it's a nice short one.
Sacred Lotus asks here, where do you all draw inspiration for your builds? I'll let you all go first.
For me, anytime I am trying to do a new build, I typically will go on Google and I will just look up architecture. So if I feel like I really want to do something that's rustic, I'll look up, rustic cottage figures or, photography, and I'll just kind of really study the architecture and draw inspiration from that. Or even when I'm trying to do something that's landscapey, I'll go and I'll look up nature pictures just to kind of give myself something real to kind of draw from. And I find that helps me a lot. It helps me with more neutral or natural color palettes. It helps me with, how to shape things. And yeah, so that's generally my go-to step.
for me, I cheat a lot because I really struggle to look at blocks in Minecraft or items in Minecraft and see them as other things. And a good builder, or good Minecraft builder, when you look at something and they've used things that you would never expect them to use in order to achieve it. And then all of a sudden you're looking at this block that you wouldn't have thought is this block in a million years. And it just works where it is, and it looks like the sort of thing then they don't have to explain it. They don't have to go around and point it and go, well, that barrel's supposed to be an oven, and this is an armchair. You just look at it and you go, wow, I never would have thought to do that. And I can't do that. I know I've tried so hard. So I cheat in a lot of respects, and I don't just Google photos. I'll either just build off the top of my head and just make something up, which invariably doesn't come out very good, or I'll go online and I'll actually look at Minecraft builds of that sort of thing. And then what I'm doing is not going, I'm just going to copy this build. I'm looking for elements that they've used that I think are interesting, that I would like to incorporate, or like blocks they've used in an interesting way. So I'm looking to go, and then bring some of that into what I'm building. So then I'll go back to my creative world and I'll throw some things together using some of those and see how I can bring it all together to make something different. And that's really the only way I can go about building anything that looks sort of semi-decent or semi-normal, is by copying and pasting, basically. Which is why I spend a lot of time in live streams and in my videos prefacing things with, this isn't a medieval building, or this isn't this building, it's a FoxyNoTail building. Because as soon as you label something, you're expected it to be built in a certain way. And I try and get away from that so that I don't have to worry about fitting my building into a category or box, or being scrutinized because it's not got quite the way, well, you should have used white concrete there instead of, well, I don't care, it's just a building, So yeah, inspiration mainly comes from just Googling things, or just from, life experience. But the things I'm proud of come from me going, someone else is, and trying to stick that into mine. What about you, Slack?
I draw inspiration from pretty much anything, but truthfully, I haven't had any true inspiration since season 2. And I know that sounds weird. Season 3, I did the pyramid and the dragon, but those are in that village over there. But that's just all cut, copy, and paste is what that feels like. This season, I kind of had inspiration to do something, and then where I got sick and ended up in the hospital, and I've got back out. It's just I've lost all inspiration in that. And I kind of want to change things up. I'm half tempted to rip some things out. I don't know. Season 2 was probably the most inspired I've ever been, because I originally saw what inspired that whole base is 2 chain of events. One, people constantly slept and it annoyed me. So that's where I built a mountain over the place so that I could I was on a place where I could play on lighting, and I never got nighttime. So that's why a mountain got built. It actually was started out of stone and then switched to netherrack. And 2, I saw a picture on Twitter. Somebody had built a random house, and they had built it in the style of a mushroom. And I was like, oh, I can take this and I can run with this. I saw something else I liked, which led to, me coming up with my own design for mushrooms and trees and the netherrack mountain. So to be honest, I take it from wherever I can get it. If I see something that looks cool, if I see Jessiie build a tree and I'm like, I like that, but I would do this, then that's where I consider I got inspiration from, anywhere, movies, TV shows, other games. I so would love to sit down and build, and I know there's worlds out there that have done it. They've built Westeros, from Game of Thrones, or there's people who've sat down and creative and just took hours and hours and hours and built areas out of the Elder Scrolls into Minecraft. I would love to. I just don't have time for that kind of scale of a project.
No, I don't think anyone expects you to do that sort of thing either, Slack. So don't put that pressure on yourself, okay?
I mean, there's literally a thing out there called Building the Earth, and they're building it city by city.
Yeah, but they're doing it in creative, and there's a team of them. It's not one person doing it in survival, okay? You don't have to match them.
Okay.
Right, Kangamar says, "Hi Foxy, Slack and Jesse. Many years ago, I played Magic Carpet on PlayStation 1. I loved flying around the landscapes. They had a terrible draw distance and would have feel like playing in a Minecraft world with a render distance of 1, but I still enjoyed floating through the hills and valleys with my carpet. Are there any video games you played in the past that give you similar feelings on playing Minecraft? Many thanks, Kangamar." Slack.
Like playing Minecraft world render distance of 1. The Jessiie?
I think the only other game I've ever played that gave me the same feeling that I got from Minecraft is probably The Sims, because I obviously put a lot of time into building. So I've spent many building houses on The Sims. I never played to like actually interact with like the little people. I literally just built all the time. So that's kind of the only other game I've played where I get that same familiar feeling.
Yeah, for me, no. There aren't any other games that remind me of playing Minecraft because it's so unique and individual. Although it does remind me, this question, of there was a game that was supposed to be coming out about 3 or 4 years ago that we're all incredibly excited about, that everybody assumed was going to be the next Minecraft, and it was going to be called Hypixel. The problem was, it wasn't actually the game they were making, and after all of the feedback from everybody thinking that this was another clone of Minecraft, they had to go back to the drawing board and rebuild, or basically try and make the entire game, and I don't think anyone's heard from them since. So
sure, they fell off the planet.
Yeah, is that another yeah, we're all going to do, oh no, actually, we've run out of money and it's not gone the way we expected it to, so we've given up. Do you think that's one of these situations, or do you think we'll hear from them again in the future?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I was kind of looking forward to that at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. It was supposed to be like an open world thing with RGB elements, but there wasn't, I don't think, originally going to be a great deal of crafting or building in it, or certainly like mining and things, but people seem to think that's what it was going to be because it kind of looked a little bit Minecraft-y. I also wonder, because it did take a lot of elements. I mean, the original trailer for that had things that looked like they were literally taken straight out of Minecraft, particularly like, I think there was a bit in the river, maybe it was a fish or something like that, or a squid. And I wonder if like behind the scenes there's been some sort of legal thing going, hey, if you do this, we're going to sue you, or, you need to seriously change what you're doing. I mean, that's just me guessing, but I mean, it got a lot of traction.
I imagine there was. I really do. As far as a game for me, I can't think of nothing that matches Minecraft. Nothing at all. I played shooters. I played RPGs. I played Skyrim. I played all that. And there's just nothing that Minecraft has been unique to its own. It's literally nothing like it that I can think of. And I think any survival craft game that comes out in the future is going to be hard pressed, because there's standards that are set from anybody that played Minecraft for years. Like, if you can't build this and you can't do that and you can't do this, then what's the point of calling it a survival craft game?
Yeah, that's true.
Just going back to Hypixel, it was actually called Hytale, made by the Hypixel guys. And the last update on their blog was seemingly the November the 24th, 2021, saying that we talked about certain things in our last live stream. Now, there is an archive page for all of the months, but there's nothing in it. So, yeah, they've not updated things in... Well, 4 months or so. So, I mean, that's not that long ago for it if it was still in development. So who knows? Who knows? We may still see something yet. Right. Okay. Jessiie.
Yes.
Levi.
Levi says, "Hey, Foxy, Slack, and Jenny. I don't know if you're still on the topic of the so-called portal in the ancient cities. What if it's something as basic as a shrine or something like that? Please share your thoughts on this. Thanks for the great show." Yeah, I mean, if you go into something and you have this idea of what it is, it's hard to get your head around it being something else. So my everything is like, it's a portal. It looks like a portal. It's a portal. But I am willing to concede it could be something as easy as just, a shrine or something less direct. But I hope not.
Yeah, it might be just something as a reference to. I mean, it looks like a portal, so everybody thinks it should be a portal, but maybe it's not. I mean, I could accept that it's a shrine, but I'd be kind of disappointed if it eventually doesn't become a portal. And it seems like the internet's running with it. It's like one of those things. It's like, hey, if this is not where you intended to go with it, this is probably where you should go with it. Everybody would appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. If it's not what it turns out, we all thought it was. We're not going to be happy. We want another dimension. I don't know. I don't think it would be a shrine. I think I'm still hooked on these words that this mysterious frame blocks are doing what they're supposed to do. And they're doing it well. So they've obviously got a job. Being a shrine isn't a job. It's unless you put something in and offer it up to something. But the other thing that Mojang try and avoid like the plague these days is anything to do with religion or politics. So try and be as inclusive as possible. So shrine, I don't think really fits their agenda. So I don't think it would be something like that. So we'll see. Maybe it is something that you can offer to the warden to get them to clear off. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out in due time.
Oh, just Slack, just before you go on to the next one, you've just sent me some stuff on the Discord, basically from the PC Gamer website, saying that the Hyrule has actually been delayed until 2023. Yep. Basically, apparently in their summer update last year that they said it was supposed to be releasing in 2021, but it's been delayed until at least 2023. So I can't believe they're still working on it after all this time. Again, this is one of those things, if it's not amazing when it drops.
Right?
Yeah, wow. Okay, that must have cost them a lot of money already.
Oh, they've sunk tons of money into it at this point. And it's one of those things, it's either going to make it and be big, or it's going to come out and just flop, or it's going to just kind of fade away and disappear, and they'll be on some third-rate website, something that said it was canceled, and you'll never know it.
Yeah. Wow, geez. Well, anyway, right, back to the questions.
Now, I would pronounce that as Woden because I actually know somebody with that last name, so that's what I'm going to go with there. Woden says, hello, I love the podcast. I hear a lot of YouTubers talk about rendering videos and don't really understand what it does and why. Can you all please explain it? Thank you all very much for what you do, Woden.
Jessiie.
So what that does is Foxy?
You do this every week. You must know what it does.
Like technically, I have no idea. All I know is I click a button and then it like compresses the files and puts it into a video. That's all I know.
Pretty much it.
That's pretty much the basic summary of it.
Yeah, I didn't pick you then because I was like, let's make Jessiie look stupid. I thought, well, Jessiie will be able to give us probably a less ridiculously technical answer than I would give, or perhaps Slack would give. So it'd probably be...
Did I do it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Rendering videos is... Rendering's, I don't think it's the right word really, but it's the word that we all use in the video production community, I guess. When you get your raw footage and you chop it all up and you put your clips together, and sometimes you're adding effects and sometimes you're increasing the scale and things, the video editing software has to then make it all, put it all together, basically link them all together and create a new video. So rendering is it basically taking each one of the frames from what you've created and putting them into the right aspect ratio and the right color scheme, and then creating a video from it, and then, like Jessiie says, compressing that video with the right the compression settings that you've got. So you've got everything in one file that you can then watch or export to something like YouTube. So rendering is normally used with things like 3D graphics or games where it's got to render these textures so you can see it. It's not really the same thing with video production, but it is taking all of this information and creating this visual output. So in that sense, it is rendering it, I guess. Have you got anything to add to that, Slack?
No, it's a magic button.
It's a magic button. Yeah. So there you go. You know what rendering is now. It's not as exciting as it sounds. It's just making your clips go into a video. Ta-da. Right.
Ta-da!
Tra says, "Hi, Jessiie, Slack, and Foxy. Question for Foxy regarding his add-ons. Do you think that the marketplace will eventually permit your add-ons to be available for purchase? And if so, in what time frame do you think this will occur? Regards, Tra."
Oh, Tra. I made a bit of a joke about this on my live stream the other day because when I read this message in the emails, it really made me laugh because I thought, that's like saying, do you think we will ever invent time travel? And if so, when? I know I'm a marketplace partner and I do have information from the marketplace that I'm not allowed to share. But if I thought for a second there were going to be add-ons onto the marketplace, I don't think you'd be able to shut me up. I think you would see me all of a sudden like producing millions of add-ons that were going, intended to go onto the marketplace. I would like to think that they will eventually, and I'm sure there are people that work at the marketplace that would like this to happen as well. I don't understand why it's not. I still don't get it. And yes, I've asked the question. I badger them about it a lot. I think the close I ever got was one person saying maybe eventually, so that's as long as a piece of string with Minecraft. When they've said eventually before, sometimes it could be next week, sometimes it could be in 10 years, and sometimes it can be completely, just never happen. So in time frame, realistically, time frame for marketplace add-ons being available, I'm going to be as specific as from 6 months time to infinity. So
that's like saying eventually the super duper graphics pack would have come out. Oh, what?
Yeah.
No.
Or eventually Hytale will be released. It's one of these things. So I'm really sorry, Tra. I'd love to be more specific than that on there, but I can't. And it is really frustrating because it would be amazing to have add-ons and stuff like that on the marketplace. And I don't understand. I really don't understand why it isn't a thing. I don't get it. I think there must be some sort of lack of understanding at the other end, thinking, well, I don't get it. Why would people just want a part of an adventure map rather than really getting to grips with what they are? Because bear in mind, the people that sort of run those sorts of things are more Microsofty than Mojang. There's not developers there. It's a different thing. So they're probably not playing Minecraft. They're certainly not in the communities that we're around. So there's just probably a lack of awareness there. They don't even call them add-ons either. They've got some really weird name for what we call add-ons. So there's just a massive breakdown in the communication, I guess. So yeah, maybe I'd like to think so. What do you guys feel about that?
I don't. I think they're going to keep tying it to maps for as long as possible, because if they put out your add-on as a whole, I don't know. I just don't see that changing anytime soon. It just feels like there would be less money to be made. If that makes any kind of sense. Why? Did you ask why, or did you say something else?
Yeah, no. Why? Why do you think less money?
Because, okay, so say Foxy wants to put out a map, okay, and he wants to put out, I don't know, a harder difficulty in Minecraft, okay? So he puts out that map, he puts on his add-ons for it and everything else like that. He puts his nice one-player sleep on there, he puts this on there, he puts that on there. He's got all the add-ons he wants on there. He's got mini blocks and everything else. And then he wants to, in 6 months, put out another different one. But he can go back and use his same add-ons and stuff like that. If all the add-ons are available out there and somebody can just buy them once, then you're not getting the return profit of them coming back and buying a different map. At the end of the day, the map is what sells it, even though it may have the add-ons, because unless you know really, really, really what you're doing or how to go about it, you probably can't rip the add-on off. I'm sure there's some people out there with the knowledge that can rip the add-on off of the map and then they could use it however they want to. But for your common user, the answer is going to be no on that. So they're just going to get a new map, So they want to play the mutant mob pack that also has mob heads. Okay, well, you have to play that on this map. If you sold just the thing itself, well, then I could put that on any map that I wanted to at any time.
Yeah.
I don't ever need to go back and buy it again.
And for me, that's where the sales increase. And I understand what you're saying, because there is that argument, well, if you want to play with these things, then you have to buy the map that are on. I know a lot of people wouldn't bother buying that map because they want the add-ons for their world. They want the add-ons on a seed that they choose in the game rules that they've set up, or maybe they've got an existing world that they want to add add-ons in. You can release Mobheads version 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30. Every time there's a new update, you could, if you wanted to, you could release a new version of it rather than upgrading the old one.
Yeah.
Whereas within a map, you can't. I suppose you could release the same map over and over again, but that feels worse, in my opinion. But also, you've got to put a lot of work and a lot of time and effort into producing a map, and it takes a long time to have a map that's of a high enough quality for the marketplace to say, "Oh yes, this is good enough." And in terms of their eyes, I'm not saying all maps on the marketplace are great, but there are really big hurdles that they make you go over in order to actually get them onto the marketplace. There's a lot of things that you can't do or you must do, or the size of the build. There's basically people there that say you can't do this and you can't do that. So you can't just, like you said, have a map that's just got loads of different add-ons on. The add-ons have to have a reason for being in there. You have to build that into the experience, which means that you're less likely to produce maps based on those things. Now, I can say that I know I've already had over 1 million downloads of my add-ons and packs from my websites. If they were on the marketplace, that's a lot of sales. You know, if I was just to put those on maps, I bet I'd have less than 100,000 downloads.
Well, here's exactly the same thing too, in reverse. A lot of people, you said you've had over 1 million downloads. There's always going to be that group of people that would rather download it than buy it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, if you go through the comments on all my add-on videos, is can you put this on the marketplace? Because I can't get it on my PlayStation or my Switch or my Xbox or my iPhone or other, they're locking, even Android phones now have locked down the ability to actually access the Minecraft game files. So it's harder and harder to put custom stuff onto these devices. So there's no choice. They don't have a choice. They can't go and download it from my website. They only have the choice to buy from the marketplace. And why do you think this is happening? Because the marketplace don't want people buying maps getting them off the internet for free, right? So at least give people the option to have those things on their devices. Yeah. So
agreed.
Yeah, I definitely think there's
I don't know. It's a really touchy subject, Suddenly they want to limit all these other people so that they can make profits off of the game. But literally, if you're on the PC, you can get it however you want. It's a touchy one. It's a real touchy one. Literally the same version of the game. But because I'm on the PC, I can get something that you can't. But let's not worry about that offhand ability because the phone can't use it.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Well, then that's like device-specific things, isn't it? It's easy to lock somebody out of files on a phone. And like Minecraft itself, the Minecraft Windows 10 installation as standard is put into your Windows apps folder, which as standard isn't accessible by the user or even an administrator. True. You've got to unlock that folder to get to it. You can, though, get to the folders that you need to actually add packs and things because they're not hidden away. But it wouldn't surprise me in the future if they go, oh, well, let's hide that folder in there as well. So, but it's a more complicated device structure, Windows, isn't it? And don't forget the player base is majority on mobile or console. There's not as many people playing it on a laptop or
but I feel if they did that, if they suddenly hid like all the resource packs and everything behind a hidden screen, I feel like that would just hurt Bedrock more.
Oh, yeah, I mean, absolutely.
I'm not saying we're big, crazy content creators, but it would drive me off.
Yeah.
So, if I had to go about a third-rate, cheesy way of getting my own resource pack or using my own custom skin or something, I'd be really cross on making videos then. I don't think I'd want to do it.
No, absolutely. I think you're just like the rest of us would be just, well, what's the point in playing Bedrock Edition then? We might just go to Java Edition. Yeah,
exactly. Because
like there needs to be, the whole point of Minecraft is this ability to have choice. But the more of these decisions you see and the more that you see this sort of stuff going on, the more you realize just what impact that marketplace is having on the game and how much they are clamping down the game because of that, because they want to force people down this route of buying stuff or, and not getting it elsewhere. And it does make me feel really uneasy, and I don't like it. And it's kind of like, I'm a marketplace partner, but I don't like the way things are going. I'm a Twitch partner, and I hate the way Twitch goes about doing things as well. I don't have a choice. I don't have any say in these things other than me shouting.
There's not other alternatives out there.
Exactly. If people want my stuff, or if I want a revenue stream that's, not just making videos, and I've got the ability to do it, then great. But I've got to do it in a way that makes me not feel uneasy about it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, don't like YouTube, but you ain't got no real other choices. I mean, there's a few other sites out there, but they're nowhere near the size. You're not going to get nowhere near the exposure, and you're not going to make nowhere near the money.
Exactly.
So you got to find your areas that I guess you're comfortable with compromises, what you can accept and what you can't accept. Where's your line in the sand, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just hope at some point that they stop pushing that line back, and they draw that line and say, this is as far as we're going to go. But it just feels like month in, month out, that line gets pushed further and further into the realms of just greed and unnecessary pushiness. And at some point, things have got to break, right? That's just got to kill it. Surely, you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, people are just going to get frustrated, fed up.
Oh, if they lock the PC out, like I didn't know that they were locking phones out. That just seems ridiculous. That seems ridiculous because I'd never had a problem on any of my phones in the past, and it's like, okay, we'll lock the Xbox out. It's like, okay, I get it, kind of. PlayStation, I get it, kind of. Phones, let's lock out your Nintendo Switch. Let's lock out this. You can't access this server. You can't do this. You can't do that. I mean, next, are they going to eliminate our ability to play on servers on Bedrock? You can only play on the partnered servers.
Who knows? Truly
Minecraft then instead of truly Bedrock, just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If it did get that bad, I don't think we'd think twice about moving across, would we? I mean, the sad thing is that we're sitting here doing our best to like promote this platform and be like, hey, look how good Bedrock Edition is. We're really invested in Bedrock. Bedrock's great, but we're now finding ourselves, instead of complaining about bugs are getting better. There's not as many. It's now
Early's coming.
Yeah. Stop it with this pop-ups and this incessant greed, because you've gone from pushing me away with bugs to pushing me away with this. And on one hand, I could excuse the bugs as like, development issues. This other one is choice. You're choosing to do this. And that makes me feel so uncomfortable all the time. So yeah. Truly Bedrock not going away anywhere soon, by the way, peeps. All I'm saying is, emotionally, how are we supposed to deal with these ethical things, I guess? And it's basically topic for discussion. Speaking of, I would really appreciate it if you guys listening to this have any thoughts and opinions on this. How do you feel about the marketplace, or your experience in the game, whether it being on a device or on Windows? How do you feel about the pop-ups that you get in now? Every time you launch the game, it's telling you about the new pack that's for free at the marketplace, that sort of thing. I'd be really interested in some honest feedback, because I can't be the only person, and I know I'm not. It just thoroughly irritates. Yeah, you just say it annoys you, does it?
Oh, it angers me.
It's every time now, isn't it? Every time you load the game up.
Every time.
Oh, man.
Every time.
Every time I load the game now. Every time, yep.
Please stop. Please. It's so annoying.
Don't force me to Java, because I love Bedrock and I've been promoting Bedrock years. Don't force me to go somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
On that note, guys, as sad as it sounds, we are on a bit of a downer at the end of this podcast. It is the end, so that leaves us just to do the socials. I am going to be streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays as normal over on twitch.tv/FoxyNoTail. Jessiie, what are you going to be doing?
For now, the only dedicated day I have is Mondays, but we're gonna uptick that as well. Videos are coming out once a week, varies on what day, but yeah, that's me for now.
Nice. Slack.
Current schedules is Tuesdays, Let's Play Bedrock episodes. Fridays is Truly Bedrock, and Saturdays are tutorials or what's the Farm of the Week that's going to be coming out. May eventually move it back up to 2 episodes of Truly Bedrock a week. Don't know. So slowly getting back in the grind of things. I say slowly, and I recorded 2.5 episodes, 3.5 the last few days. Anyways, that's my socials.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure recording with you two guys again. I hope you've had a good time. Don't forget, everybody, if you want to get in touch, you can email us at theminecraftupdatepod@gmail.com or catch us on our Discords or Twitter. The links for everything we've discussed are in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed listening. We'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye. Wow, she legitimately didn't say nothing this time.
She's gone.
Wow, she done left.
I'm not gone. I did say something. You guys just ignore me.
She's done one. I can't hear her, Slack. Can you? She's just...
No. I guess her mic's messed up again. Did the shock mount fall?
No, it's here. I'm talking.
Right.
Well, where's Jessiie? Jessiie, where you be? Be. Wow, your name has a new meaning to me now.